Maybe we should ask Debbie to come up in case we've got questions.
And his information.
Absolutely.
Which one do you wanna start on? Are you,
I think expenditures.
Okay.
which is that?
Expenditures. I might be wrong a bit.
No, I think expenditures is a good place to start.
So now, like on the general, apparently there's 38% left, right? Pushing any of that, just keep on going on down.
Yes.
You probably look at these 10,000 times, Elaine.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
You said 38% left, is that? do you
Of
have
the
a
year.
figure?
Of the year.
Of the year left.
One of the things that we look at, Sharon, is where are we at in the year? And based on that, where should we be? We really should be at 25%, so anything above that is a positive
Oh, okay.
for us. So 38% is darn good at this point.
Okay.
Which page are you on now, Elaine? Here's what 72% for accounting.
I'm on 6.
You on which one?
6. Okay, on public health, we're at 7%. Those grants of hers aren't in, right?
Right,
That's the problem here.
yeah. Yeah, it's not showing all the taxes, because obviously our second set is due in May.
Mhm.
And it's not showing some of the intergovernmental, and then, yeah, some of the grants. And those work on a reimbursement,
Mhm.
so we spend the money first.
Right. A lot of those are with the state.
Right, yep. Another thing too that Black Mountain did that just is a little bit confusing is weed and road are now called Public Works.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's just, you have to look at the numbers a little bit more closely anymore.
What's the story on the airport?
The airport, last year, they had bought fuel about this point. They watch it on a daily basis.
What page is that, Elaine? I guess I lost you.
10.
Oh, okay, you're fine.
I am betting you that it's
Oh,
full.
here,
That would be a good question to find out about. They took their 6,800 that we budgeted cash, they were working with their CIP too.
Now, that 98,000, that's the CIP, right? For the airport? Plus-
98,000?
Uh-huh. Is that, well, that's for that runway, future.
What fund number are you talking about, Franklin?
Okay, it will be 430330, airport and runways.
The 94,000 is for the entire airport budget. What you're
Okay, then
looking
the
at
one
is
below it, the
20,000.
98,000, is that the one that's that's
20,000.
that reserve that they're keeping for the runway project in 10 years, or whatever it is.
No, that's in their CIP.
So that doesn't show on here then.
Not on page 10, no.
Do we have a million three?
Yes, we do.
So,
Yeah, yes.
okay.
Thanks, Kyle.
Juvenile transportation is down. It's gonna get close.
Yeah. And that one we fund through a CIP, so I kind of just look at that and then keep going.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of a heads up.
Yeah, exactly. Planning is one of those. The expenses are way down, but that department really does rely on subdivisions for the planning part of that department. So it's one we need to keep an eye on, but her expenses are down. She's really picked up so many other responsibilities that'll help that budget, but still want to keep an eye on.
I must have missed something here. The animal control services must mainly be the horses.
Yes. That one, I think we need to address, with the sheriff, but we've got a lot we need to address on that one. If you, back to page 15, under the second block, 420114, reserve deputies, it shows committed year-to-date $49,000. 0 was budgeted. That fund is overspent by $48,934.
How can it be over that far?
I think some of that is Forest Service and BOR, but I think that only came in, and we'll see on the revenue, 27,000. So I'm not sure where she plans to
I didn't
make
think
up.
we were supposed to be paying them like that.
We're not. We're not. Those are actually,
They're listed as part-time employees now.
Right, but, what the law says is they don't get an actual wage.
you're 100% right. They should be paid with salaried employees. And even with Forest Service and BOR, the two should equal out to 0,
Yes.
not to a deficit of $22,000. So that's another
Whoa.
thing that, yeah, it's just,
And I had an email this morning that she can't be here today.
I know it.
I think she's out of town or something, I don't know.
I would
She
like
needs to go on next week's agenda then.
I'm wondering if we can table till Wednesday, and I'll tell you why. Today is April 20th. She's gonna have to have a budget amendment if she's gonna keep any staff, because right now she's got no money to get through to November.
Right.
And this was the budget she turned in. All department heads turn in their own budgets. She dropped a bunch of revenue, and she increased expenses.
So
So
that's reverse.
it's April 20th. We've got at least 2 weeks to advertise for a public hearing. Before that, we need to know what we're doing to address this, and then we have to have a public hearing. And according to MCA 764020, departments have to have their budgets to Debbie by the 1st of June. She was supposed to work with us in December, January, February, March. Instead, she filed a lawsuit against the county, and we just settled that a couple weeks ago. We've got to get on this. We don't have a minute to waste, so I'm requesting that we table till Wednesday at 10.
I agree.
We better make sure she's here, because it's a medical that she's out on, so I don't know.
Then she's got to send wind, but we can't continue to kick this can down the road. or she's not gonna be able to do what she needs to do by law.
Well, I know, but she's also gotta be here too.
But when is her second-hand plan?
Exactly. And honestly, she was supposed to work with us in December, January, February, March. We're now at the end of April. I'm very, very nervous about what we do to save this department.
Mhm.
So, and then the animals, you know, have to be addressed as well.
Well, are we to a point with the court that we can sell those things yet?
No, not yet. As I would imagine as soon as we are, those will go up for sale. I don't think anybody's gonna drag their feet.
And of interest, a Wednesday meeting would have to be downstairs.
Okay,
There's a court.
with the horses by chance?
I have no idea.
Okay,
Val just
No.
said that there'd be a 2-day trial.
okay.
There's court here at 2 o'clock this afternoon too.
We could even work in the, in our office on this,
Mhm.
still open to the public, but we, this is the 4 of us, or 5 of us, if one comes, just hashing it out.
Mhm.
We've gotta have something to work on.
Well, and Wynn is here today, I saw him come through.
Yeah, it'd be great if he could work with us, but the last time we tried to work with him, even with her say-so, she sent an email saying, how dare you? So it kinda ties his hands, but it's tying her hands, and that's my worry.
I'd say, let's see if Gwen is available this afternoon, number one,
Okay.
and start there.
Okay, I agree.
What's your thoughts?
I don't know, it's her budget, I think she should be there, she should be represented.
But as the undersheriff, doesn't he have any, isn't he supposed to serve in, when she's not?
As far as enforcement part of it.
No,
As far as
all
the
over.
budget part, I don't know.
I think that, I mean, we can ask him, but I think that he's got as much authority as she does when she's not here.
I agree with Elaine. I think that's why you have a deputy to step
Yeah.
in. Federal mineral royalties on page 22, we've allotted or spent $0. Those were gonna help, that money was gonna help and has in the past with computer equipment. So that's one of those things, we agreed to do the PILT until we saw what the total was. So I think that needs to be looked at as helping to pay for DIS or IT, Black Mountain, or the new computers we had to buy for clerk recorder and sanitation.
DUI prevention is hurting.
They have been working on that.
Oh,
The
okay.
DUI task force is aware of that, and they're working on that.
Weed control is right there, but they bought a lot of chemicals last fall, that they won't have to buy this spring.
Yeah, he just gave me a list of what he's got in there. Both he and Mosquito have a lot of chemical that we'll be able to use this year.
Even the 911 fund. And maybe I wish we could start with the appropriation.
Right. The 911 fund, there's been some question as to the new control work that Nick and Mike did to make more room for another dispatch in there. No 911 funds were used. Nick did targets using some of those for that project. That's something we need to look into.
Okay.
Seems to me if it's for that, then the money should be used for that, especially since we have such a surplus of it.
I'll be glad when the state comes through with their money on those health department grants.
Yeah, me too.
That public works always throws me.
Yeah, me too.
We used to have one years ago. It was called expenditure versus appropriation. And you could see it all on one page.
Yeah.
Side by side.
Yeah. Black Mountain has more details, but it's on separate reports.
Mhm.
Revenue now,
You said there's a trial this afternoon? Oh, I thought you said a trial.
I didn't, I said Wednesday.
Oh,
Oh, I think Franklin said that.
yeah, they wanted the courtroom this afternoon at 2:00.
So at 1:00, 1:30, will we still meet here?
Probably downstairs, don't you guys think? We have
Yeah.
Board of Health too.
Otherwise they'd have to move right in
Okay,
the middle stuff, so.
just wanna clarify.
Mhm.
It's really hard to look at the revenue when next month is when tax money start coming in.
Right, yeah. So it's actually just concentrating on the other, revenue, the grants.
Mm-hmm.
Sanitation looks really good,
Good.
yeah. Fair was also a worry at the beginning of the year, as you remember, I think they had 22% reserves. They're doing phenomenal,
They are.
yeah,
Lisa's got that building ready constantly.
that's cool,
I mean, unreal.
that's wonderful.
Hi.
Are you guys on a break or?
Budget review. Airport was another one that I was a little bit nervous about. We talked about them in the expenditures. Revenue received 83%. So they're doing good.
Mhm.
The hard part is that when they do buy the fuel, there's a big outlay, but they get it back. Because they do charge a little bit to make some money on it.
And they should.
Yeah.
Wonder how many guests we have next door.
I don't know, we should get a total, oh, and that's the other thing with revenues. We have January and February for the prisoner reporting. We don't have March yet,
Okay.
or April, obviously. And even with that prisoner board, well, detention centers at 68% received.
And in the clerk and recorder's office, what is County Land Input Act?
Which page is that
9.
in?
That,
Clerk and recording fees.
that must is maybe how they break down everything that comes in, there's a percentage is broken down, all the money, and I haven't worked with it for a while, so I can't remember what they all are, but
Well, and record preservation stands alone, does it not, have its own fund?
I think so, but I'm not positive.
I thought I saw that on here.
It always used to, let me put it that way.
Record preservation,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 2393, page 8. 82% received.
I remember when that came into being. That makes me really old.
Is that when they transfer to disc and things like that? Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-mm. If you come in to record stuff, it's so much a page,
Mhm.
and that money goes in that account, so that to buy equipment or whatever.
Yeah, there's a certain percentage of it goes in for record preservation. Yeah. To buy equipment, to buy the cabinets, to anything you need to do to keep the records
Mm-hmm.
safe.
Oh, okay, yeah, exactly, that's what I thought it was,
Mhm.
a record preservation.
Right.
But that comes from the recording.
Right.
2,900, the PILT, estimated revenue really should have been 573 instead of 460. We got a letter that stated we were getting a 573. 460 has been used for years as a guesstimate, but with that letter, we don't have to guesstimate anymore. So that's a little low.
I was glad to see the email from Shannon on
Mhm.
SRS.
Yes,
Good news on SRS?
SRS has been funded in full for 2 years, including retro for 2014.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Isn't that the best news you heard that day?
Absolutely.
I saw that on the news on the internet over the weekend, I was really happy to see it.
Yeah.
A lot of happy rural counties.
Oh, man. Solid waste doesn't reflect the $40,000 that Brian found in unpaid fees. So, good to know on that too, although he looks really strong.
I must be overlooking something. The CIP for ambulance fund, that's not right.
It's not, no, she, has not put in the 30,000 that we allocated for that, and I think it's at 143
Okay.
now. Some of those still need a little bit of housekeeping.
You know what is a big help to our fire department? Oh, this DNRC
Oh,
stuff.
man.
And
They're
hats off to
fabulous.
Ed, because I mean, he even flew to New York to get that one truck and drove it back.
Yeah.
it's a monster truck, I mean, it can't be comfortable to ride in,
Not even.
it can't even come close, you know. The walls are going up this week on the Winston Fire Hall.
Yeah, they're coming along.
Mm-hmm. They put that heated floor in
Mm-hmm.
last week.
Yeah, there's a misconception there, but it is the least expensive way to go. It used to be very expensive, it's come down.
Well, it makes sense.
It sure does, yeah. We have it in our house.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Kristen and Jared do, or no, Kristen and Tony do. I can't get it out right yet.
The other one is a little bit scary.
Yeah, so if this bond doesn't pass at the school, what are they gonna do?
I don't know either.
I mean, I'm not hearing anything.
I was actually, I wanted to speak with Laura when you guys break for lunch, but I was actually kind of wondering if I just dropped my ballot off downstairs. Is the commission planning on making a public statement about the importance of passing the levy, or
I don't think we can.
No, I think we,
there's nothing, I mean, you have free speech rights, just like, I mean, you should consult the county attorney, but as individual, I mean, politicians take positions all the time on referendums. I don't know, I haven't talked to anybody in the city council to see if they are, but it would seem to me it would be I mean, if you're for the vote, then it would be a good thing to try to persuade folks in the community. I had no idea how dire the situation was in terms of the cuts that they've had, and they're just asking to be where they were 6 years ago,
Right.
so.
And that becomes the question. A lot of groups have said, you know, we don't take political positions. And with this particular vote, they're coming out saying, heck yeah, for taking a position. And the reason is the economy of the community.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's so critical to property values and a safe community, the better educated their kids are.
Yeah, the other thing is if we lose our accreditation, and we're on the verge of that, we don't have a school, literally. Our kids graduate without a diploma that matters. That means they can't go to college. That means they cannot say they have a high school diploma if it's not accredited. I mean, these are very serious issues for our kids. The most, you have a group of employees who are typically the best employees. They're also the most able to get other positions. We've had several of our employees that have really made a difference who've said, if the school loses its accreditation, I'm sending my kids to Helena. The follow-up question is, how long will it be before you follow them? We'll lose some of our best employees for businesses, we'll lose some of our businesses. So it could
Sure,
have a
I
trickle
mentioned,
down
you know, on the
effect.
sheet, we say that. it's
Well,
in the state
if you guys are
10,000.
interested in that, I mean, you should ask Cory, but
It shows
as far as I
436.
understand, politicians are
Because
not
we probably already have.
and at least personally,
Oh,
if you
yeah,
don't wanna do
yeah,
it as
we
a
did, so,
group.
so we've got a little cushion sitting there. that
Mhm.
we're using.
But I don't, do you think it's okay for me to write a letter down, Shannon?
I
Do you think
she-
I have a few people who
That's
think
a
highly
total.
of me now.
We said, I know she was a lot less.
Maybe I could use,
yeah.
can I write a really good letter and put your name on it?
No,
This is on the
He's
first,
fine.
first page of the cash report.
Which number, Franklin?
It's 2153, the sheep. It shows the 2,000, I think that's what we pay the state, and then below it shows the cattle, which is, I think we pay about 5,000 or 6,000, and it just shows 436, but this is just cash that we have then?
What that is the cash we have left, the ending balance. So what that means is money was put into that fund, and cattle ranchers have come forward saying, I need this money because I lost these cattle due to these reasons. If it is approved, then they are paid that money. Then your cash goes down because you don't have cash in there anymore because you gave it to those particular producers.
Why isn't that going through down in CRS?
It's always gone through us. I mean, I think they certainly work with us. I'm not sure what the process is, but it's always been a part of our budget. Just like the schools in here, we don't have anything to do with.
Right.
you know, the
But-
particulars.
And I could be wrong, but we had a situation with some cattle of ours that were over at, over by Lewistown. And the guy lost better than half of the calves. Our check came from NCRS.
And I don't know how.
And that's where all the documentation had to go, pictures and everything.
Yeah,
That's right, that's when we pay the, give that check to the state, and then they handle it from there.
no, this, it actually comes to us. We get the check in here.
From the state.
Yeah. But Debbie doesn't have anything to do with approving the cattle. That's all done probably by NRCS.
And that would have been an expenditure rather than cash.
Right, right. But would it come out of cash? It would reflect in the cash. One of the things I don't like about this report is the beginning balance doesn't show the beginning balance of July 1, 2014. It would help me if I did. So I just went through and wrote in what the beginning balance was to know where we're at. The ending balance should be the 33% reserves plus the 25% left in the year. And most of them are looking pretty good. The ones that are a little bit low, fair is at 37% reserves at this point, and airport is at 33. Most counties actually set their reserves more around the 25% mark. And with both those funds, they're pretty small, so I'm not worried. One of the ones that does have me worried, Karen, senior citizens are at 31% for their transportation. Their meals are up though. Public safety, cash started at the beginning of the year at $294, $226, and it's now at $72,000. That is all the money she has to make it through to November, and that's why I'm so scared.
I don't think she can.
I don't think she can either. I know she can't. And that's why.
Think of what payroll is a month.
Exactly. Yeah. There's other counties who've gotten solutions to that. And I'm hoping we don't have to follow suit.
The detention center, public safety has been a godsend.
It has. Did you guys see the article in the Bozeman Chronicle? Their detention center, the money, the excess money raised is actually going to purchase equipment, vehicles for deputies. So exactly what ours has been tasked to do as well. So it's nice to see that another county's doing the same as we
That's
are.
right.
Following our lead, I might even say.
Can't help but wonder if the Elmer police budget, no, the sheriff's budget for new detention center, what it'll do.
Right?
Because they had a thing in the paper not too long ago, when you go online, and they ask if this, no, I'm wrong, that was on the schools. And overwhelmingly said no.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be one to watch. They just voted down extending the fairgrounds, which would have been a revenue generator. So that'll be an interesting one to watch. One thing also to draw your attention to is the health insurance. When Black Mountain switched over from Tyler,
And cash, are you looking?
right, yeah, in cash, you'll see a negative there with the group health, and then 117,000 with the permissive. They actually switched over in such a way that they started taking all the money from one fund, where it was actually going fund to fund, switching monthly with Tyler. So that was something that didn't get caught. So one is showing a negative, the other one is showing a positive. We'll just have to address that through an amendment. And that was just a Black Mountain switchover issue, nothing major.
We can do that.
Yeah. Search and rescue's looking really strong. Rescued animals, deficit of 36,000. So I'll have to address that, but I thought it'd be a lot more,
So did I.
yeah.
Most of them are pretty good, really.
Yeah. We've just got to address those,
Scary ones.
yeah.
So when is Brenda due back, Greg?
I'm not sure, she had surgery in her jaw. And, yeah, I'll try and see if I can call and get a hold of her. I think she's staying with her mother recuperating. Or Sun River, I believe.
What was wrong with her jaw?
The way I understood her saying, some kind of I didn't know there was a disc in your jaw. Jawbone, I thought she called it a disc. I think it was more involved than what I thought, I guess.
Regarding this budget that we need to talk about, or that particular fund, two things, I guess. If Wynn is available today, that would be fine with me. We do have Board of Health at 3, so it does limit our time to be able to work on something. And if he doesn't have her blessing, then it's wasting his time.
And ours.
And ours. I would like to either table this until Wednesday at 10, or if she isn't available, we need a guarantee that she will come with a viable plan on Monday, so that we can get our work done, because we are under the gun time-wise, for her to be able to turn in her full budget by June 1st. So it'd be easier on her to be able to get it done Wednesday, or to target, or to, instruct Wynn to represent the department, just based on the fact that we've asked her to come together with us with proposals and she refuses.
If I can get a hold of things, I ask her for whatever time work out for her on Monday then.
And with the caveat that she comes here with a proposal. We can't just sit here on Monday like we have in the past and twiddle our thumbs, because we are under the gun. I can't state this more urgently. She's gotta turn in her budget for next year by June 1st.
Okay,
We
so
don't have any, we don't have any road
Okay,
left to
so
kick this can down.
with the proposal
For finishing out this year.
for finishing out this year.
How she's gonna save her budget?
Because it's not looking very pretty.
But just come here and ask us what we're gonna do about her budget. That's fine if that's on Wednesday and we have some time to work, which is still extremely limited.
Should we go ahead and break for lunch? Do you
Sure.
You wanna start back I think it's set for 1:30. Do you want to come back earlier and start going through some stuff downstairs?
No,
We
I
can't,
didn't.
we can't come back early. we have to post it. We have to post with 48 hours, or else you're violating open meeting laws,
Well,
Franklin.
by you just going through stuff. or
No,
not.
no. You cannot officially meet without advertising. Even if you're quote, just going through stuff, you're still discussing county business in an open forum, and you have to follow open meeting laws.
So not till
Period.
1:30.
Yes. And we do have somebody here who might have public comment before you break for lunch, Franklin.
You don't?
Not other than the
Okay.
school levy, I was just hoping to get 5 minutes with you.
Okay, we'll recess for lunch at 1:30.
But I do agree, the rule of thumb is if more than one of you is in a room and you say anything to each other that involves the county, you gotta be on the record, so.
Us. Yeah, you wanna?
So do we start downstairs at 1:30?
Okay, carry your stuff.
Bye.